Moving on, there is a question from Austin Paulson who asks, "What's your favourite memory on tour with Death?"
What kind? Like conquests? Personal No, what? Best food, best silly moment. There was the time that
let's transform the question. When did you and Chuck go on a mass killing spree?
That must have been during World War II when we were recruited by a rogue colonel to destroy Nazis, and so we became two Nazi killing machines, killing Nazis all over. No, I'm kidding.
That's disgusting.
Eastern Europe, Western Spain. I can't remember. Well,
I guess
the point is that I have fantastic memories of Chuck and of touring with Death.
So we can say there's no like one silly moment. There's no one happy moment. It's all good. Like
okay, in June of '89, we did a leprosy tour of Mexico. We were staying in a fairly ritzy for Mexico City.
What time of day, Eric? You need to be more specific.
It was in the mid-afternoon. Hold on, let me check my calendar.
I need minutes. I need hours and minutes.
It was at exactly 2:45 in the PM.
How many seconds?
And 32 seconds, 33, 34, and me, Masvidal, Andrews, and Butler, and Schuldiner were in the restaurant of the hotel eating. And we used to dare each other to do stuff all the time, you know, like drink that concoction of crap, this sort of thing. And they dared me to pull my pants down to my ankle around like a mental retard through the restaurant.
Were we exposing ourselves as well, or?
No. I don't know. This is a family-run operation.
Oh, right. Doing it the first way.
Chuck didn't have tattoos. You know what I'm saying? So there's a certain level of propriety. So of course I was just in my underwear, but my shorts were down to my Bermuda surfing kind of looking shorts were down to my ankles, and I ran around going blah, or whatever. But it turned out that the only other two people who were in the restaurant was the owner of the hotel and his wife.
Oh wow, that was
so. The promoter who had set up us staying at the hotel was asked if we would leave.
and that still brings sort of laughter today, that memory.
Yeah, like... watch this. Yeah, see? That's good. And then I think we proceeded to throw all the TV sets out of the window. No, that's Motley Crue. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So basically, you were Nazis in World War II, and then you went to dinner.
No. We were strict anti-Nazis who were sent by an American rogue colonel to be a secret weapon of the Allies to kill Nazis in a brutal way.
I have actually seen Chuck kill people with his guitar. There is a video out there.
You know what? He always kills people by stealth.
Oh, no he didn't. No he didn't. If anyone doesn't get that, they need to
I know, and I'm not even going to explain it.
No. Okay, moving on.
Except we are endorsed by the BC Rich Company, by the way.
Yeah,
buy your
yeah, where's
$99 now?
Where's my I would just like to say to BC Rich, where's my stealth? I don't see a stealth behind me.
Fine.
I don't call it. But yeah, anyway, moving on. The next question is from Militia Dabrovich, something like that. And it says, what did the Death Guys do to keep creativity going when working on new material or when on tour?
We used to eat a lot of Jell-O, which in Britain you call gelatin.
No, we don't.
Oh, what do you call it then?
Jelly.
Jell-O?
Jelly.
Oh yeah, sorry. But when I would say jelly,
I'd like to buy some gelatin, please. Some gelatin for
jelly. We ate a lot of jelly. What else? We used to sniff chicken wing sauce.
Glue.
No. That would have been wrong. This is the council estate, mate. Come on.
What's going on, mate?
What else did we? No, I don't know. How, it's hard for me to answer that because I know it's a serious, sincere question. What did Chuck do? What did the band do to keep on top of things. You know what? I've told people a lot. I don't understand how a guy as silly and as interesting as Chuck was could spend so much time worrying about life problems, but at the same time miraculously come up with this incredible music. I mean,
yeah,
I don't understand it. It's why he did what he did, and why I can't do it, and why I can't be Chuck, and why other people can't be Chuck. Because whatever the hell it was,
Eric,
it was inside him, and it had to get out. And I don't think it was necessarily how much pepper he put on his rice or whatever. I mean,
no, man. Yeah, he was definitely.
I challenge anyone to see whether or not Death ever repeated themselves from one record to another. I think he was on a constant upward trajectory, and I don't know what the hell it was. He smoked a lot of pot.
Well, the thing is, you know, like you say, Chuck was one of a kind, and myself as someone who puts tracks together, like thinking of the next riff can be such a ball ache, and like you say, Chuck just didn't repeat himself. So the idea that everything is something a bit new is it's incredible, because you have to say to yourself, where did these ideas come from? You know, what is this person's, how many different influences does this individual have to produce what they have? I mean, I
don't get it. Like, I was telling somebody, I mean, I was having a conversation with Terry Butler about this. I've been asked by the press about this. From the time that the touring of Spiritual Healing was over, and all the mess with those guys going to Europe, and I mean, he'd already begun working on the Human songs before that, and he did, of course, a rehearsal in August. He started rehearsing in August of 1990 with some new Human material with Bill and Terry. But I know what kind of crap Chuck was personal level. How in the midst of all of that, and losing his band, and all, you know, his personal problems and issues and insecurities, how in the hell did he come up with the Human album? And I mean, and after Leprosy and all the silliness associated with that, and losing Rick and having to go through new guitar players, and how the hell did he come up with Spiritual Healing, which I think was a giant leap from Leprosy? Well, and from Spiritual Healing is even a bigger leap. How did he come up with this?
Well, it's kind of like
time. I don't get it. I mean, I still to this day, it's a mystery to me where it came from.
Well, it's strange, isn't it? Because the problems that he must have been going through, it can do both things. It can fuel his creativity, but it can also kill it because of the sort of frustration you're going through. So it's that weird thing of like, it can help, but the fact that he's able to still be creative it's a weird place to be like struggling with a lot of different things, but then to have the fluidity of creativity. I'm not sure how you go from like stress to, oh, I'll make a song. Like, where's the link there?
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on television. I'm not a doctor, but Chuck Schuldiner had pontine glioma, and from what I understand, pontine glioma is a juvenile onset cancer. And his family be the first to say that when he first started going to clinics for pontine glioma, everyone in the room was a kid. So we can only reckon that Chuck had that cancer in his head, that tumor at his brain stem, since he was a kid.
This might sound like a real sort of far-fetched idea, Eric, but stick with me, because I did read about how this pontine glioma affects mostly children. And how old was Chuck when Frank died?
Well, he would have been 9.
This is going to sound like I'm just throwing it out there, an idea, but you know how people say cancer we've all got it, but it's like whether it sort of comes to life, and it's things like stress and severe circumstances that can cause them. I mean, could you ever think of a possibility that the loss of his brother could have been the first trigger?
Well, what I would do is reverse that thought and just say that, well, would he have been the creative guy and the interesting guy and the sometimes chaotic guy if he didn't have the cancer all those years? That's another thing that we've talked about.
That is the question.
Without any disrespect. Like, is it all of this, the cancer included, is what made him who he was as both a personality and as a driving creative force. And Jane has herself said perhaps she was spared the horrible grief and trauma of losing a second son by some sort of miracle or fate, that he was able to live and create all those years after Frank's death. I think Frank died in 76, something like that. And
I do hear that, I don't know how true it is, but Chuck never got over that loss. I don't know how true that is. Or
you know what, it was hard to avoid Frank, because in the Schuldiner home they had a portrait of Frank. I think it was a picture or painting or something,
yeah,
that sat on an easel dining room. This is their old house in Altamont Springs.
Yeah.
So I think that like the spirit of Frank was always around, but Chuck never really talked about it in morbid ways, or he didn't dwell on it at all. Of course, it did have an influence on the writing of songs like Open Casket, or you know, stuff from Scream Bloody Gore and Leprosy era, because he was still young enough to be affected. But I don't think that he carried it with him constantly. But was it influential on him? Of course. Losing an older brother, obviously, for he and Beth. I can't really ponder much more about it, because that's something that Chuck would have carried around himself, and he didn't really talk about it very much.
Eric, I would just like to say we have completed 2 sections of the challenge. We have done Eric Greif and we have done death. So next is Control Denied.